Guys, after last week, Coach had that long post-game thing, and he said, I think I got through to those guys about what I want. It's a totally different game for you this week. What did he have to tell you, and why was it such a different game for you guys today?
We came out hard with a lot of energy, so we prepared very well this game, and we just came together as a team, and everything that coach was telling us last week, we took it in. So we just came out to play with a lot of energy.
Basically, we suffered two losses in a row. It all started in practice. I think our seniors pushed us, Aleo and Rashawn Dwight, they really pushed us in practice, and I think that's what led to the game starting in warm-ups. I think Rashawn really pushed the whole group as a unit, and that converted into the whole 40 minutes of the basketball game.
Playing against Hofstra's off to a good start, but Jenkins is one of the best players around, two-time Harrier will win. Is that added motivation when you're facing a guy with that kind of reputation?
Well, we was trying to just keep the ball out of his hands as much as possible. It obviously didn't work, but he made some tough shots down the stretch in the last 5 minutes of the game. Our emphasis of the game was just rebound the ball, push, and just get out, just kick it to our guard, just kick the Scott.
That's the ball,
basically.
Play as a team.
That was our job. That was our emphasis for today.
Getting back to Charles for a minute, he only had 5 points in the first half, 1 field goal. I mean, what was going on with you guys defensively, especially first half?
He's an excellent player around the country, and he's very talented and very smart. And always we like the competitiveness, and he's from my neighborhood back home, so it was like a competitive game like we always do back home. But he's a good player, so playing against a good player all the time is very well worth it.
You guys built up the big lead, and by the time he started hitting his shots, you had a pretty comfortable lead, so he could never really cause damage to you guys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Our job was to still make sure he has limited touches at all times. Even though we was up 30, 40, our job was to still make sure he doesn't get the basketball. And I think we've done a very good job in the first half with that, because he had about 6 or 8 points. 5 points.
Only 3 shots total first half.
Pretty good defense.
Yeah. Guys, end the year, the 2010 on a good note stuff, and the 2-game win streak, the losing streak. Now starts the conference with Sandy. You guys look ahead to that at all now?
Yeah.
Quick.
Conference play is very important, and we didn't want to go back into conference play with a loss. And we're definitely trying to win the MAC, so we're trying to win MAC games.
First of all, just playing against your alma mater.
Yeah, that was a big one. I had a lot of people here tonight for that because my wife also graduated from Hofstra, so it was an interesting game for us.
Yeah, no feelings for them though. You just want the W.
Feelings to beat them. That's about it.
Totally different team than from the Vermont game. Whatever you had to say to them seemed to have gotten through.
It worked for a game, and now we have to just kind of build off that and keep it going again, and not let back and take steps back. I thought we came with a much better defensive effort. Our defense is what we really needed to establish, and I thought we did that.
You took Charles out of the game, especially the first half. He only got 2-3 shots and on 1 field goal. And then even when he was hitting the shots on the streak, he had a big enough cushion that it really wasn't a
right, and that's what we were trying. We knew late in the game he was going to really try to get going if he needed to, so we were hoping that we'd build a cushion, have him uncomfortable in the first half, and then give us a chance to feel other players out, see what they could and couldn't do. And Charles, you can't stop the kid. You only try to contain him. He's really, really talented.
They contained him pretty well in the first half especially.
Yeah, I was very happy with it.
Scotty, especially the second half, seemed to just kind of impose as well.
Yeah, he relaxed. He didn't force the issue. He let the game come to him. He took what was there rather than trying to make something out of nothing. He just kept it simple. And I thought, little pull-ups, little drives, little drop-offs, and it also helped that Kyle Smythe came out hitting shots, and Love is a man-child. So I just think when we hit some shots, we stretch the defense. And if Scott's patient, that's going to be there for him as the game goes on. And sometimes he gets impatient early, but I think he's growing up. I think it was the first time where I could talk to him about it and really have a real understanding with him about what we're trying to do. Not just yesing me to death, but really saying, yeah, Coach, I think I got it.
we're getting, like you were saying, the contributions all around. It kind of makes things easier when you don't always have to go to Glover all the time.
Absolutely.
And when Kyle starts knocking down.
Yeah, and we wanted to establish Glover early on, and we did. We got him, but then I think that loosened things up a little bit for Kyle as well. And again, it was one of those games where he came out hitting shots. The last 2 games, he didn't make anything until very late in the games, and that put us in a little bit of a hole. And I think our kids were just ready to play defense today, and I'm really proud of them.
Facing a guy like Charles, a marquee player, does that kind of get the guys up a little bit more?
Absolutely, and it was really good. The 2 seniors had played against Hofstra. Charles' freshman year here and lost to him here substantially, and Charles had 28 on him. So of course I reminded him about it and say, most guys don't get that second chance to play a non-conference opponent back on your home court as a senior, and let's not let that happen again. And I think the 2 of them, Rashawn and Alejo, really took a lot of pride in that, and it was a great week of practice leading up to this. Thank you.
Coach Charles Jenkins coming in here, being one of the top scorers in the nation. What did you do, or what did you tell your team to do to stop Charles Jenkins early on in this game and really hold him down?
You know what I think about Charles that I'm so impressed with is he doesn't force the issue at all. He plays within his team. Okay? And I think we try to use that to our advantage early on. Say, listen, he's not going to go trying to score at the beginning of a game every time, so we don't have to run doubles on him early. We just kind of have to just be in the area, let him see his second body, and if he sees that second body, his unselfishness will come into play. And I felt it did. And we also knew later in the game that he was going to end up getting 15 to 20 shots up regardless, and he was going to force the issue, especially if they were down. Not force it in a bad way because he's good enough to make plays, but was going to try to do more. And we were kind of ready to get into some double teams, and we did it effectively sometimes, other times not as good. And I'll tell you what, when he was open, he made every shot. He's really, really good.
Of course, no Dwan McMillan in the game today.
Yeah, what?
He had a stomach ailment, unable to start, flu-like symptoms. Brad Kelleher getting the start. Really not that much film on him, obviously. What did that do to alter any plans that you had when you came into play?
You know what? I actually thought that made them a better offensive team because he can shoot the ball and he can stretch it out a little bit. I know they probably miss the other point guard's penetration, but he's not really a shooter. He's a guy where we had planned on laying off of more and doubling off of him. So it kind of did change our game plan a little bit, but not a lot.
Glover really having his way underneath against this Hofstra Pride team. Just talk about what he's been able to do and bring to this Iona program just in general, and how he performed against the Hofstra Pride team.
He brought a toughness to our program. I don't think all the guys here are that physically gifted or play with a ferocity, and I think he does. And he's just a real competitor, and I think he helps other guys bring their level of competitiveness up higher, and he really wanted this game tonight. It was a big one for him. He knew how much it meant to all of us, and the fact that I'm a Long Island guy, born and raised, and all that stuff. So I didn't let them forget that. But I need to be able to cross the bridge again. Otherwise, the toll really eats on you if you can't go back home.
He pulled it all out tonight.
Yeah, we tried everything for this game.
Coach, Metro area, a lot of first-year coaches now. Yeah. Of course, your first year with Iona. Coach Casera's first year with the Hofstra Pride. Just talk about what you've seen in the metropolitan area as far as college basketball goes, and all these coaches starting out anew in their programs.
You know what I've seen? I've seen a lot of coaches who are doing a great job and are really into it. They're working their tail off. They have their teams playing with a lot of passion. They're bringing excitement back to all their programs. When I scouted them and watched about 5 or 6 games, I was so impressed with their execution, their effort. I think he's done a phenomenal job there, and all the other new coaches have too. And I just think it's bringing some life back to the area. And I think everyone's going to only get better as we have a chance to get our own players in as we build our own programs.
And do you feel these intercity rivalries really help spread the competitiveness of basketball and bring a little bit of excitement to the area as well?
Yeah, I think it's great for our players because they can look at the rosters of the other teams and these guys they played against in high school and AAU, and it does bring that competitive nature to everyone, and everyone wants to talk a little bit. But the games are high-spirited but fun and good play, and it's great to have the local rivalries way back in the day. And I remember it. There were so many, and that's what made New York basketball so good.
Tim, one last one for me. You got Siena coming up and resume the MAC portion.
Yeah.
This team hasn't beaten them in 9 straight now. They got, as Scotty said, we got
Thanks for putting the whammy on me. I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I haven't been around.
Yeah, right.
So
you're unbeaten.
I know they're very good, especially on the home court. They're going to be tough, and they have a couple of very good players. But we're going to just try to build from here and just get better. And that's all I think, get better throughout the season, and hopefully be peaking come February and March.
Okay, great.
Thanks very much, guys. Appreciate it.